Hi, it's Mama Rose, and I just went to do my bone broth, and I got onto a tea tirade. So if you want to watch that, watch my video I just did. Okay, so I am going to push all this aside, and we're going to go ahead and look at the bone broth. Now this is my third bone broth. When I went to do it, and I do have the video on that, you'll see that I went to put it back in the 3-quart, and I could not get it in because I had parsley and stuff from my garden that was still there. So, I mean, I have it. might as well use it for flavor. If I didn't have any of those things, I don't necessarily wouldn't go out and buy them, although I did go out and buy a nice organic leafy stalk or bunch of celery the other day because I like the taste of celery in this. So the first pot I did had a habanero pepper in it that I took most of the seeds out. And boy, it was hot. It was spicy. It was a bit spicy. And then the second time I did it, I didn't have all the bell peppers. I had little mini organic bell peppers. I kind of cleaned out some more of my refrigerator from some of the vegetables that I had in there. I had onions too. I put an onion in there, I think. I'm not sure if I put an onion in this. But I did it twice, and I wanted to go ahead and try those bones a third time. So that's what we're going to do right now. And of course, as usual, I'm not prepared. So here we go. We're going to see there's not a lot in here at all. So I can go in and fish these bones out just to take a look at them and see how if they're mushy or not. Well, they're cow bones, so they're not going to be, but I'm so sorry. But you can kind of see that they're kind of airy. Now, if this was a chicken bone, I'd do this and it would just totally squish in my hand, but it's not. But I can see that it has lost a lot of its denseness. And so I can probably just see, look at this one here, little celery or whatever. Now this is a really good example of what it does. Let me get this a little closer here if I can. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see. It's dripping. But look at that. That is just disintegrating. Look at that bone. Look at that bone. Oh, that is wonderful. And that is really a good thing right there, because that means you've gotten all the stuff. Look at that. Now, I have never gotten bones to do this. This is a beef bone. Never have I gotten them to do this. So this is the third time I've cooked these. So I would say to get the most out of all of your nice, expansive, organic, grass-fed, grass-finished bones, that you could give that to a dog and they'd have no teeth. They'd be able to chew that right up and still get something out of it. But I'm done with them now. So I'm just going to strain a lot. And I didn't end up with a lot of fat. If you notice, when I first put the camera on this, there was not a lot of fat on that. And I wasn't sure. That was one of the things I was going to check on to see how much fat, because the second time I do the bones, I can't believe how much fat is in there. And Mark usually does this for me, so I'm doing it today. There we go. I wanted to get the two that I did. All right, so you get the idea. So I don't have to go too much longer. Okay, these are the two that I did. I came walking out of the refrigerator and I was like, look, there's my two babies here. All right, these are the ones that I did. I think this is the first one, because we went ahead and put it in here and then did another batch with the 3. I ended up doing with the 6 quart, so I ended up with a lot more. and I had to divide it up, but you can kind of see if there's something suspended in there, but I'll open it up. Oh, here we go. Let's watch. I'll open that up. Now you can go ahead and scoop this out. This is the tallow. And this is pretty pure. What's on top of here is pretty pure. You won't see a whole lot of stuff in it. There we go. I'm hoping to be able to do a little, learn how to do it, you know, where I actually get the good stuff. But, you know, we try to drink some of this and eat it when we're doing it. So let me get this really close. Also in this other batch that I did, look at how thick that is. Can you see how thick that is? There we go. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, darn it all. I'm just going to go ahead and put that fat back in there because you want that. You want that. But I was surprised that I didn't get as much fat, and I did get a lot of fat out of these, out of those bones. Alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead. Oh, I wanted to taste this and see how it is. Oh, I wish I could remember what I was going to say. But, alright, here we go. Taste this one. This is the third time. It's interesting. But what I am going to do is I'm going to mix them up because the first one I did was hot. It was the habanero. Even though I took the seeds and everything out, it was pretty hot. The second one had a little bit of a different flavor. Then I went and got the celery, and I was able to put the celery in. And then the third one was pretty plain. I just wanted to do those bones a third time, so whatever matter ended up in there from the last one, I wasn't real fussy. I just kind of pulled the bones out and whatever, and I put that all back in. You know what? I think the third time I did it, I left all the broth in. That's what I did. I left all the broth in. I went to go do it, and I was going to do the bones a third time, and I thought, you know, I'm going to leave the broth in. I had tasted it, and it wasn't super flavorful, so I put some more salt in it. And then I just used that again. So this is the bones done a third time with the broth from the second time. So actually you could say I did the second batch 10 hours because I did 5 hours each time. So the first time I did it, I did 5 hours. So these bones have been 15 hours in the pressure cooker. Now, if you're going to do a bone broth, a really good bone broth where you're getting the most out of it like I did with these bones, the best amount of time to do is 72 hours. And I used to do that with my NutriWave induction plate because it can go a bunch of hours. I have gotten other induction plates. I have the Paula Deen one. Most of the other ones that I checked out only go 6 hours or so. But this NutriWave will go a long time. So I just set that on. I forgot what the temperature was. It wasn't very high, maybe 150 degrees. It's pretty low. And then you let it go for 72 hours. The problem I had with that is, and the crock pot, if you want to do it in the crock pot, you can do it in the crock pot as well. It's just a higher temperature in the crock pot. So I like this other method if you're going to do 72 hours. If you're doing it in the house, you're going to smell this cooking for 72 hours. And I don't know about you, but I don't like sleeping with cooking smells going on. So that was not a good thing for me. So I had to find something else. Then I started doing it outside. And you could do that outside, set up your thing and just let it cook outside. And also 72 hours, you're cooking something, you're not there, you're going to work, you're in and out of the house, and just having any kind of a flame on. That's why the induction thing works good, because if it moves off, it shuts off automatically. So if you are going to do a 72-hour one, then I would recommend doing that unless you're going to be home and can tend it. But the next best thing would be the pressure cooker. I actually like the pressure cooker better. And I don't know what each hour is equivalent to if you're cooking it on the stove or in the oven or in the crock pot. But in my estimation, if you cook it, 4 or 5 hours, that is going to be good for the bone broth. So, and I do it a step further. So after I do that and I fill that water, that distilled water that I put in there, I filled with the goodness of whatever vegetables or plant matter I have put in there. But the most important thing is whatever the bones are holding, the nutrients and the goodness and the minerals that the bones and the collagen that the bones are holding that I want to get benefit from, they are being imparted into that empty distilled water that I put in there. Then I go ahead, that water's full, it's got all it can take, so I empty that and I put more water in, and then I put the bones back in there and I cook them another 5 hours or 10 hours, which I did in this case. And as you can see, when I did it like this very heavy cow bone I can break it. I mean, I am not strong either. Look at it's all coming apart. Look at all that. I could probably even do more. Look at that. Look at all that good stuff that came out of the bones into my broth. Wonderful. And then, so now, because I have different degrees of the bone in the broth, if I take them all and I mix them all together, then I get it all goodness, and it's not as hot as the first batch that I did with the habanero. So anyway, I wanted to show you that, and I will come back later and talk about something else. Thanks for watching.